Good evening. Welcome to our virtual third grade curriculum night for 2020-2021. I want to start out by telling you a little bit about myself. This is my 15th year of teaching, and I've taught all of the grades here at Boyce Beers Elementary. This is my second career. Before I became a teacher, I worked for 10 years in human resources, and then decided to go back and get my Bachelor of Arts from UMKC in elementary education. And then shortly after I started teaching, I got my master's in teaching from Webster University. This is definitely my passion, and I'm so glad that I made the decision to go back to school and start this new career. This year, I have some goals for your children. By the end of the year, I want your children to be happy, compassionate, and thoughtful students who like to learn. I want them to be responsible and trustworthy citizens, and I want them to become positive problem solvers. I know this year is kind of a big year, jumping from more of a primary to a little bit more of the intermediate. So I'm going to really try to get them to become advocates for themselves and to become positive problem solvers. So let's start out by talking about homework. Homework should take no more than 30 minutes each night, and I will send it home on Mondays, and I really want them to work on it Monday through Thursdays. Basically, my requirement is I want them to read 20 minutes a night, and then I will assign some sort of 10 minutes either on reflex, grade ting, or other things, but I will assign that each week. I do require a parent signature to verify that it was completed. And I do ask parents that if they did not complete the assignment, I ask them not to sign it because I'm trying to teach them to be responsible for their learning and their homework. We will start homework probably the first week of October. I want to talk to you about my missing and late work policy. Just so you know, students are given plenty of time to work in class to complete their work. If they have incomplete work, I usually try to send that home throughout the week so that they can finish that up, but they should have plenty of time. They have until Friday morning of each week to turn in any missing work without a penalty. On Friday afternoons, the last 20 minutes of school, we have a Friday reward time, and that is given to any students that have completed and turned in their homework and any class in all their class assignments for the week. Students that don't have their assignments done or have missing their homework will use that Friday reward time instead of doing like an indoor recess kind of fun time. They'll be using that as a study hall to complete the work. In my classroom, I tell the kids that I want them to do their very best. So they're going to be responsible students, expect their best, show safe behavior, and treat others respectfully. Here at BSE, we use a positive behavior support system, and basically anybody in the whole school, any adult, can give any positive reinforcement. And a lot of it, we're focusing on the proactive instead of the reactive. So we're actively teaching students the appropriate behavior so that we can prevent inappropriate behavior. Every classroom is taught the same expectations, and like I said, by doing this, the interactions between students and staff can focus on the positive opposed to the negative. So in order to reward this positive behavior, we do a couple things. As a whole class, we have compliment chips in our classroom. And anytime we get a compliment or the kids are doing a really good job, then they get compliment chips. And once all the compliment chips fill up the jar, then we have a mini celebration in our classroom. Also, excuse me, for the best tickets, that's an individual incentive. So when anyone in the building is able to give best stickers for them doing the right thing, they collect them until their chart is filled, and then once the chart is filled, then the students are able to turn these in for a small prize. I want to talk to you about our third grade curriculum. Our third grade curriculum consists of English, language, arts, science, social studies, math, In our English language arts, we have a balanced literacy program. We have a reading workshop, a writing workshop, and we do some word work and grammar. In math, we use the Go Math series along with other things like Greg Tang and Reflex. Your students have a math journal that they maintain in our classroom where they take notes, they problem solve, and show their math thinking. We also have a Go Math workbook, and this is where students practice problems, and some of those come home and some stay here at school. And we also use the Go Math website. If your child should ever be out for an extended period of time, we will use the Go Math website for them to do their math work, and that way it can get turned in to me. In science and social studies, we alternate between the science and social studies units. Social studies, these are the current units or the units that we will do this year. We are currently on communities and cultures. And then in between, after we do social studies, we'll flip over to science. And these are the different science units that we do along with our Project Lead the Way modules. Next thing I want to talk to you about is grades. Your child will receive a report card at the end of each quarter. They'll receive one on October 23rd, January 8th, March 6th, and then the last day of school, which right now is scheduled for May 25th, but that is subject to change. Your student will also receive a midterm report each quarter, and this is basically a snapshot of your child's progress so far in the quarter. So they are able to go ahead and raise their grade, or it can lower as well. Students will receive letter grades in reading, writing, and math. Effort grades will be given in science and social studies. I wanted to talk to you about technology. Students are going to use a lot of technology this year. We need them to be really familiar with Schoology to do their assignments. The reason why I'm trying to get them really familiar with Schoology is because if your child should be out for an extended period of time, or if they should have to be quarantined, this is where your child will do their schoolwork from. All of the lessons in Schoology are what we are doing in class. We have started showing them how to get into each subject and access their assignments. But I have also put on here, in case you haven't gotten on with your child, they can access Schoology by going to bssd.schoology.com, and then they will use their student email and lunch number to get into the program. The Blue Springs School District has put together a document called the Return to Learn Guidelines, and these guidelines are talking about what we are doing to keep your child safe here at school. And it talks a lot about different things within our school and around the district. So I would encourage you to go ahead and go to this link right here, and that it will take you directly to our Return to Learn guidelines to make sure that you check that out and become familiar with it. I also wanted to say, if your child is ever sick, it's really important to communicate that with the office so that they can follow up regarding symptoms. We are just trying to keep everyone safe this year, so communication is going to be key. This year, your child will take the state assessment, which is called the MAP test. Just so you know, we worked very hard from day one to get them ready to take this assessment. This assessment will be taken later in the year. Usually it's from late March to early April. I don't know the exact dates this year yet, but I will keep you informed in that. But they will be taking a test in English language arts and math. I wanted to talk to you about becoming a VSE PTA member. Our PTA is so wonderful and they support us so much. I know this year is going to look very different, but they've already thought of really creative things to make school fun and memorable for the children. But they also provide us teacher grants for the classroom libraries or STEM projects. They're also going to provide a 2020-21 VSE t-shirt to all students. And then they also help us out with technology and building improvements around. So if you would like to join, it's $10 per child. If we get 100%, and 100% is our goal for every classroom, and it is really their entire budget is determined based on this membership. So I really hope that you will consider joining PTA. I wanted to tell you that I believe communication is one of the key things, and I am a very much of an open door and open communicator with my parents. I will send you weekly updates via email. I may send you more than one a week, but I definitely will try to reach out to you weekly. I have also included my email address and my phone number. If you have any questions regarding any of this information or anything that we've talked about tonight or anything in the future, please feel free to contact me. The best way to get in touch with me is by email first, and then if we need to, we can set up a time to meet or in person or arrange to talk on the phone. But again, if you'll reach out to me via email, that's probably the fastest way to reach me. Finally, I just wanted to say thank you very much for listening to my PowerPoint and for being wonderful, supportive parents. It shows in your children and their attitude towards school. They're so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to a great year. So thank you very much for listening.